And here we are, episode 214 of Is This Thing Working? I'm here, sitting here. I'm James. There's my lovely co-host over there, Denise. How you doing tonight, Denise?
I am awesome. As you can tell, we're trying something new. So we have
we're
no
having a great
idea
time.
what we're doing, but we're
Yeah.
having fun. We've tested it, and
Yep.
it still didn't come out the way we wanted to begin with.
Yeah, if you want some comic relief today, just kind of go check our little testings out we've done on Rumble. That's hilarious.
We're having a lot of fun with
wanted,
it, though.
Yeah, I kind of wanted us to take them down, but I thought to myself, I said, man, nah, just leave them there.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
we want you to know.
Yeah, hey,
Because,
we're coming to you just honest, as real
please.
as we can be.
Make sure you leave us a comment.
Yeah.
Anywhere that you see us, and let us know what you think about this, because this has been really different and out of our element.
And who knows, you might think we're interesting people. I don't know. I think we had a pretty interesting weekend this weekend, man. We went to our hometown celebration. It's a well, I guess you would call it a biannual.
Yes.
That would be every 2 years.
Every 2 years.
Okay, so every 2 years we have a hometown celebration here in Diboll, Texas, which is where we're at. A little old rural town in East Texas. We've been here all our lives. Me and Denise were talking about this earlier, that she's a fourth generation Dibollian and I'm a third generation Dibollian. And
Yes. And this is our home, and it's grown, but stayed the same, in the same, breath. It's really amazing. It is growing quite a bit right now because they're putting a highway 69 bypass to go around Diboll, because 59 is crazy right now with all the big trucks coming from Houston. So we're like right in the middle of Houston and Dallas.
Texarkana
And Tyler.
Basically.
And so there's we're the pipeline. So they're making a road to go around it. But we do this every 2 years.
Yeah, and I was going to put a little disclaimer out here about Diboll. And this is off the City of Diboll website. It's pretty cool. It says that on November 15th, 2023, Mayor Trey Wilkerson proclaimed Diboll. Oh, that's something different. Hold on. I wanted to find you a little history of Diboll. I thought it could, but Google let me down.
Google's bad.
They're horrible.
Why do we use Google?
I don't.
Yeah,
know.
I don't know either. Google's nuts. But while we were there, okay.
Here we go.
You got it?
Here we go. Diboll Day 2024, which was this Saturday. And what it basically is a town celebration, a hometown celebration that we have every 2 years to celebrate the town. Fundraisers happen. We have four or five different senior girls from the high school that are queen candidates, and they run for Diboll Day Queen. And we have a big parade, and we have a big festivities down in the park with events. And this year they brought back the tug of war event, which was really cool. And
they had a pizza eating contest.
They did. And they celebrated the Diboll 12 and under Little League team that won a championship this year, and they had them all out there. So let me give you a little history here, like y'all really care. But the first Diboll Day was held in 1953 following discussions by local townspeople at the Antlers Hotel coffee shop. And it was decided that money needed to be raised to fund projects for the growing number of children in the community. So the result was the creation of the Diboll Booster Club and the first Diboll Day, which raised almost $1,200 for the community. So in 1953, that's a chunk of change. Diboll Day was celebrated as an annual event from 53 to 58, and since 1958, it has been celebrated biannually on even number years. The odd number years were reserved for Diboll's sister city, Pineland, to celebrate Pineland Day. And I was in high school band, and so we marched in the Pineland Day parade. I remember going over there, and it was typically a lot just like Diboll Day, It's a pretty fun time. So the only time that tradition has been broken was in 2020 due to safety concerns of citizens during a worldwide pandemic. But since the start of Dieball Day, the Booster Club has raised $5 million and given grants that have funded many projects for the citizens of Dieball. And some of these projects include public swimming pools, the Little League baseball complex, the Old Orchard Park, which is where it was at, the operation of the Catherine Sage Temple Daycare, and supporting the TLL Temple Memorial Library. So for more information, this is coming from the cityofdieball.com themselves, and it says for more information, contact the Dieball Booster Club or visit www.celebratedieballday.com. Tell you, we had a blast. Denise has got some cool pictures to show too of our day.
Yes, we were down there. We had our own booth, and we had our own T-shirts that said Dieball Day on them, and it actually said underneath there, established in 1953.
Yeah. There they are, hanging up. They were
hanging
cool.
Up.
There's our banner.
And then we have our banner,
booth.
and we had our cards, and with some koozies, and our own merchandise. And we sold chips and water, but we were mainly there to introduce and to talk to the community, to be involved in the community. And we had so
quite a
much
bit
fun.
of visitors, too.
Lots of visitors.
Yeah, it was a really cool
day.
day.
So surprised to see us.
Yeah,
in
it was a really cool day.
Town.
And if you notice in this picture, too, in the background, you can see that little that's a Hot Wheels track that some people had came there and had put this little Hot Wheels track together. And inside that trailer back there, they had both walls. It was wall-to-wall Hot Wheels and collectible cars, and they put on a display, and kids came by and would buy their little Hot Wheels cars, and they'd race them, and it was a cool little thing.
Yes, they did.
Keep going. I know you got some more good pictures.
Let's look here.
Yeah.
Let's look here.
There's some of our merchandise.
Yay,
there we are.
Is this thing working? We're legit, guys, now that we have merchandise.
There we are.
And there we are, having a good time.
Yep.
Had to take a selfie, you know how that is.
Yep.
And then, of course, our cards that we were giving out. Make sure you go to our website and all the above. But I want to go over here and see that. Hold on. I thought I could anyway.
Where you going?
Anyway, you were over here on the side. Now you've gone
there
away.
I was. There I am.
And James, he posted quite a few pictures, so we're fixing to go look at that. And this is James. Follow him on Facebook. You can find James Mayo, and there's our little picture.
Yep.
And here's some really cool Dieball Day pictures. Here we go.
Yep, these are some of the vendors that were there throughout the day. I mean, it was wall to wall. We really had a real good time.
Yeah, we had to get up early to get in our line that we were in. We were very lucky. There's some of the vendors.
There's
Look,
Denise.
And there I am.
There we were, sitting there. Then that was more vendors lined up throughout the park. There's the Hot Wheels cars.
Hot Wheels.
Yeah, they were really cool, man.
And there's our banner again.
And there's our 40th class reunion. We went to our 40th class reunion.
Yes, and that
your
was fun.
40th, my 41st.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, James was a DJ, so he DJ'd at the reunion, and it was fun. And these are the people that we had a class of 82. And so this many people showed up. A lot of people, there was some that caught COVID, and then other people.
We had 82 members.
Yeah, we had 82 class members.
Class members? Okay. Yeah, you were the class of 84.
Yeah, we were the class of 84, but we actually had.
One more, you'll see my little, I think. Let's see. There's my little setup. My little setup before we turn the lights out.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. We had a
good time.
Great weekend. And glad to be back on here with everybody. Absolutely. And we want to state that these are our opinions and our assertions before we go any further and get into everything. Because this show needs to be shared if you like us.
Yep. And if you don't like us, this show still needs to be shared. So go ahead and do it, man.
Please do it.
Yeah.
And comment below and tell us what you like and don't like. Make sure you follow Is This Thing Working on all platforms where we go live, like, for example, Rumble, X, And Getter, I am so sorry. We are going to figure out how to get there.
Yeah.
We are.
We tried it last week and it come out blurry, and we realized we had a bandwidth issue,
and so we had to try something else. So
we had a big Getter crowd, man, and I was really disappointed. But hey, man,
I was too. We love Getter. Follow us over here, please. We appreciate you. Also, download that podcast on Apple or Spotify or any platform you listen to your podcast on anything. You know, we're on what? Google Play, YouTube, Apple, Podbean,
Spotify, Podbean, Podbay.
Lots of pods.
Google, Chrome. Yeah,
that's
everywhere,
so
man.
You can find us anywhere. You just type in, is this thing working?
Looks like yellow and purple banner.
You can find our website if you type in, is this thing working? We have so much stuff out there that all you have to do is type in, is this thing working? And you're going to find us. I promise you. And, but one thing we really want you to do, and that is support our sponsors. And we have a new sponsor. We are so excited about a new sponsor.
We always are.
Here you go.
Our new sponsor is Simply Guitar. Hey, man, have you ever dreamed of playing the guitar, but you don't know where to begin? Meet Simply Guitar, the app that makes learning easy, fun, and fast. So whether you're picking up a guitar for the first time or you're revisiting an old hobby, Simply Guitar has everything you need. With easy-to-follow step-by-step lessons, real-time feedback, and hundreds of popular songs, you'll be playing chords and riffs in no time. It doesn't matter if you just got 10 minutes or you got an hour to practice. Simply Guitar tailors your learning experience, fitting perfectly into your schedule. The app uses your phone or your tablet's microphone to listen as you play, giving you instant feedback on how to improve. And you don't need any music theory. Simply Guitar breaks it down so it's easy to understand. Whether you want to rock out, play along with your friends, or just strum to your favorite tunes at home, Simply Guitar will get you there. Download the app. Start making your music today.
Thank you, Simply Guitar, for becoming one of our sponsors. And make sure that you click that link below, because that is how you can find them.
Yep.
Very simple. First thing we're going to do today and talk about is Steve Bannon, like we always do. Every single show. Bannon will be freed in approximately 3 weeks.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
We
pray for him every day.
Yes.
You know, that he gets out of there safely, and that's
man. With this administration and this parole, I don't know.
I don't know. President Trump is. So,
it wouldn't shock me to see him keep him there.
They're so afraid of him right now. It wouldn't shock me either.
Right.
You know, and I just can't think of anything else that they could do. It just cannot cross my mind. But what we want to do is we have this call to action. You know, we do this under Bannon the whole time. We encourage all of our listeners to be informed and become engaged and to be a force multiplier. We call you to action today. Today and every day from now until November 5th. Every day. And on a previous show, we brought you a message from Steve Bannon on prison, from prison. So we went back a few episodes and we found it. His message from prison. We had already talked about it, and that is what we're going to play again for you today. Is to remind you of the importance of this election and what is at stake.
Right.
So here is James and I going over the article from National Pulse on September 27th. Listen here. Bannon, which we already have. From the National Pulse, Stephen K. Bannon pins "Victory is at hand" message to MAGA from Danbury Prison. Here we go.
Yep, finally we get to hear from him himself.
Okay, it says, from the National Pulse, Raheem Kassam, recent shifts in the few reliable polls in key districts and swing states show that hard-pressed Americans are decisively rejecting the phony politics of joy and the empty promises that define the Harris campaign. People are seeing through the word salad rhetoric, recognizing it for what it is: hollow. To date, the Harris campaign has offered no real solutions to the struggles Americans face: inflation, rising crime, and weakening national security. These topics can't be masked by feel-good phrases, celebrity endorsements, or as many Oprah interviews as you want.
Yep. He goes on to say, Harris has peaked. The momentum is now on our side, and this is the time to capitalize on it. If the Make America Great Again movement focuses all of its efforts on a massive get out the vote and ballot chasing effort in the crucial days and weeks until November 5th, we will win, and we will win big. The stakes have never been higher, and this is the opportunity to take back control. We are not just fighting for a win, we are fighting for the future of America. A victory of this magnitude means sweeping control of the House, Senate, and the presidency. With this trifecta, we can destroy the policies that have harmed Americans and put the country back on track. The reality is there is no significant group of undecided voters left regarding the candidates themselves. People know where they stand when it comes to President Trump and his opponents. What remains unclear for some is whether they will actually participate in the voting process. These are the individuals that will decide the election. With relentless effort and personal contact, they will break our way. It's our job to engage with them, ensure they understand what's at stake, and motivate them to cast their ballots. President Trump risks his life daily to save our country. Every day he faces tremendous opposition and challenges, but he continues to fight for the American people. Through your work, show him that you have his back. Let's demonstrate our commitment to this cause by putting everything we have into these final weeks. Remember, victory is at hand. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And let me tell you something, folks. Right now, in this moment in time, today was the very last day that Texans could register to vote. Tomorrow, no, it's today. It's in Arizona, in Georgia, the very last day to vote. If you did not register to vote, then you are part of the problem. We have gone over this over and over and over again. We need you. We need you to vote.
And if you are registered to vote, and this was a point that was brought out by Steve in that letter right there, you know, that there are a lot of people that have given up on voting. And, you know, I can't blame you. I can't blame you. But that's the only way we got to
get out of this mess.
To get out of this mess
is
to
too
vote.
Big to rig. That's the only way. It's a bank that vote.
That's right. And I want to tell you something. If any of you were paying attention this weekend, if you were paying attention at all, if you had any doubt this weekend about the movement that is sweeping this country and has been, we're tired of the authoritarian regime. We're tired of the endless spending. We're tired of all of the games that the bureaucrats and the deep state play on us. Man, it's time to get these people out of this office and walk them out the door and tell them goodbye.
You know what? It's just plumb tired.
Really, it is.
It is plumb tiresome to always be America last.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
It is about being America last. And if you bow your head and say, I'm just not going to vote, it's just too much effort. I don't want to be in politics. I don't want to, be involved in all of that. And plus my vote doesn't count. But you know what, folks? It does count. Every one of our votes count. And over the past 4 years, it doesn't seem like we've gotten anywhere with the fraud. But you know what we've done? We've let everyone know about it, because there was a poll that came out. There was a poll that came out that 60% of all Americans believe that the 2024 will have massive fraud. Now, if you know that, then you know you need to take 10 friends, and you need to text 10 friends, and you need to email, call, take 20, have a party, have a let's go vote party.
Have a rally.
You know?
Yeah.
Really.
This
needs to happen.
Yes, and that kind of goes back to my point a few minutes ago about if people were paying attention this weekend, you look at the support and you look at the 100,000 people that were there at Butler this weekend.
Oh, my gosh.
And
it was amazing.
Yeah.
That's that 1 hour that I took between the Dieball Day festivities and our reunion to sit and watch the first hour of the Butler rally. Gave me chills. Absolutely was the best. And this right here lets you know, folks, the mainstream media does not want to play this kind of stuff. They don't want to play the people, you know, and how many people that were actually there. But let me tell you, at one point in this rally, you know, there was this sudden medical emergency. I'm getting this from Overton, and it forced President Trump to halt his speech for several minutes. The unexpected interruption left the crowd in suspense, eagerly anticipating his return to the microphone. In the meantime, the rally goers decided to channel their enthusiasm and patriotism in an unexpected way. Initially, the atmosphere was relatively quiet, with just a few voices breaking the silence. It was as if the soft melody was a whisper among the thousands of attendees. I love the way he's like talking here. But really, I want you to hear this. And every bit of them were watching what was going on over there. And she was fine. She was totally fine. She just got hot and about passed out. Man, the amount of people were there. And then another one that was really, really important. And you need to hear this today. This is Scott Pressler. Listen to what he had to say at this massive rally.
I wish I didn't wear shorts today. Mom and Dad, I honor you on the stage today, Captain Robert Pressler and my mom, Carol Pressler. Pennsylvania, you have the power to change the world. Pennsylvania wins the White House, and so please, I ask you today, please check your voter status, make sure you're an active voter registered at your current address, and please visit vote.pa.gov and register to vote today. A message to our union workers. We want your vote. We want to keep jobs here in America. To our beautiful Amish and Lancaster and across the state, we will protect your raw milk, your dairy, your farming, your school choice, your religious freedom, your ability to afford to have 10 beautiful children per family. To our hunters, 30% of you are not registered to vote. Please, our hunters, support the Second Amendment, register to vote. To our truckers that service us every single day, please request a mail-in ballot or vote early, lock in those votes. To our sorority sisters and our fraternity brothers, please, you have the power. If you're going to school here in Pennsylvania, register to vote legally and lawfully here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I feel this from the top of my head to the tip of my toes. I love our great country. President Trump took a bullet for us. Please use your ballot and have his back on Tuesday, November 5th, and deliver Pennsylvania for Donald J. Trump. Support the Second Amendment.
I mean, that was great. I mean, really, he's right. President Trump took a bullet for you.
Then he goes on to say that shortly after taking the stage in Butler, President Trump kicked off the rally with a clever joke, referencing his previously interrupted speech. After thanking Lee Greenwood for the musical introduction and acknowledging the state of Pennsylvania, he goes, as I was saying.
Listen, it's less than a minute here.
Lee, thank you very much, really. And thank you, a very big thank you to Pennsylvania. We love Pennsylvania. And as I was saying... Oh, I love that. I love that chart. I love that graph.
Yeah, and they bring up the graph.
It a beautiful thing?
Yeah.
But also beautiful because look at the number. That's the day I left office. It was the lowest Border Patrol, the lowest it's ever been. Illegal immigration. Today it's out of control.
And he really starts
I love it for
right
other
there.
reasons too. You know that. So thank you very much, and thank Lee and what Lee has done with that song. And it's such an honor to have it. Lee, thank you very much.
So, yeah, that one was pretty cool. It was funny. One thing about President Trump, he has a great sense of humor.
Yeah.
But at the beginning of the rally, President Trump called for a moment of silence to honor firefighter Corey Compatore, who tragically died while shielding family members from gunfire during the previous rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. And Ave Maria, I believe, was sang, and it was absolutely beautiful. And then, number 5, Elon Musk's speech. In what could have become one of the most unforgettable moments in both the rally and American politics, Elon Musk made a surprise appearance alongside President Trump at the podium. Now, this is 6 minutes long.
But yeah, let's listen to a minute or two of it.
Little bit of it and see.
Is the only reason we can now send American astronauts into space. Come here.
There he goes.
Take over, Elon. Yes, take over.
He was excited about being up there. He was jumping up and down.
Hi, everyone.
He's got a black MAGA hat on.
As you can see, I'm not just MAGA, I'm dark MAGA.
He's
well,
Batman.
All, I want to say
I'm telling you, man, he's Bruce Wayne.
And, you know, the true test of someone's character is how they behave under fire. And we had one president who couldn't climb a flight of stairs, and another who was fist pumping after getting shot. Fight, fight, fight! Blood coming down the face. Now, America is the home of the brave. And there's no truer test than courage under fire. So who do you want representing America?
That's right, man.
Yeah.
He is right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And I think this election, I think it's the most important election of our lifetime. This is no ordinary election. The other side wants to take away your freedom of speech.
Yes, they do.
They want to take away your right to bear arms.
Yes, they do.
They want to. They want to take away your right to vote effectively. You got 14 states now that don't require voter ID. California, where I used to live, is just passed a law banning voter ID for voting. I still can't believe that's real. So how are you supposed to have a good, proper election if there's no ID? It's just meaningless. And free speech is the bedrock of democracy. And
free speech is liberty
if people
too.
don't know
That's true
on,
liberty.
If they don't know the truth.
Yes.
How can you make an informed vote? You must have free speech in order to have democracy. That's why it's the First Amendment. And the Second Amendment is there to ensure that we have the First Amendment.
I hear people say that a lot.
Yes, I do too. But it's true. It is very true. But will they ever use that?
President Trump must win to preserve the Constitution. He must win to preserve democracy in America.
Real democracy. Republic.
Yes.
Constitutional republic.
Yes. This is a must-win situation. Must win. So I have one ask for everyone in the audience, everyone who watches this video, everyone in the live stream. This one request. It's very important. Register to vote. Okay? And get everyone you know and everyone you don't know, drag them to register to vote. There's only 2 days left to register to vote in Georgia and Arizona. 48 hours. Like, text people now. Now. Oh, and then make sure they actually do vote. If they don't, this will be the last election. That's my prediction. Nothing's more important. Nothing's more important.
He's not the only one that said that.
No.
So get everyone you know. So I'm speaking to people out there. Everyone in the crowd, I think, is already convinced. But for people out there that are watching the video, watching the live stream, you need to get everyone you know, at work, your friends, family, text groups, your social media, everything. Get them to register to vote right now. Only 2 days left for Georgia and Arizona. Only a couple weeks left in Pennsylvania. And if they're not registered to vote, it doesn't matter at that point. Register to vote. I'm being repetitive for a reason, okay? So nothing is more important. And a lot of people think maybe their vote doesn't count. Well, it does, okay? It does. It matters. And this election could be decided by 1,000 votes, 500 votes. A tiny margin. So get everyone you know to register to vote. I believe that's swapthevote.com. I believe that's the site. And double check that your registration is good. Don't take it for granted. I'm just being repetitive about this point because it is the one takeaway more than anything that will matter is getting those registrations and then getting everyone you know to actually vote. That is what will decide this election, especially in Pennsylvania. So
he's absolutely right.
Yeah, I don't disagree with a word that he has said.
No, and here is the list. I put it up earlier, but we're going to go ahead and go through it for the podcast audience. Register to vote today. Of course, Arizona ends today. Georgia ends today. North Carolina ends Friday, 10/11. Wisconsin, Wednesday, 10/16. Pennsylvania, Monday, 10/21. Michigan, Monday, 10/21. And Nevada, Wednesday, 10/23.
And each of them, there's a website to go to at each one of them.
Yeah, you can go to my.arizona.vote.com.
Georgia is mvp.sos.ga.com. North Carolina is vt.cane.gov. Wisconsin is myvote.wi.gov.
Pennsylvania is PA voter again services.pa.gov. You need number 2 pencil for that one. Here, I'm going to say it again.
It's PA voter services.pa.gov.
There you go. And then Michigan's is mvic.sos.state.mi.us.
And the easiest one out of them all is Nevada. It's nv.sos.gov. They don't fool around in Nevada. They get straight to the point. We don't need all these extra letters and confusion.
I mean, and that's what it seems like to me.
Yeah.
How can you find all of that? I mean, especially in Michigan, no wonder people aren't registering to vote there. They don't know how to do it. I mean, my goodness, I couldn't even imagine. But everyone, this is our mantra for today. And from here until, I guess, October 23rd.
Yep.
Register, register, register. You have no reason to complain about anything if you don't vote.
But I want to tell you something, man, and it goes back to that, what we talked about, the size of the crowd, the people that were there. We watched that. We were up early on Saturday morning getting all the truck loaded to get ready to run down there and go to the park for the Dive All Day festivities. And we sat there and we were watching people rolling in at that point. Pete Hegseth out there talking to them.
6 a.m.
On the road, 6 a.m., 7 a.m. in the morning. People are already walking. They've already parked their cars. And it was already starting to crowd. And then Poole later on during the day, they talked about it.
Oh, and that was so cool because the War Room actually went live inside of one of Elon Musk's Cybertrucks. Well, it's actually Tim Poole's Cybertruck.
Yeah, I was going to say it's his truck.
But he bought the thing from Elon. So it's really a movement, and folks, it's a movement of Americans.
Yes,
not party.
That's what I was fixing to say, and that's what was proven with that big of a crowd out there that day and that many people, because there was people that were moderate, there were people that were R's there. I guarantee you there were people there that were D's. And it's not about that anymore, man. These people that are in power right now want to take away your country. They want to overthrow your Constitution and become an authoritarian rule. We can't have that, people.
No.
Our only hope right now is this election. We've got to get out. We've got to register to vote. We got to get our friends and our neighbors to vote. This is your constitutional right, and this is your freedom as it at stake today.
As you know it.
I mean, this is no joke, people. We've talked about this long enough, and if you have not been paying attention for the past 8 years at least, man, you better open your eyes up, because you're fixing to be speaking Chinese or Russian or something else other than American. I'm telling you.
Well, you already see it happening.
I mean,
right
really.
now. You can't even call anybody anymore.
The border is wide open. We've got an invasion going on. We've got all of this, but the rally was great and it was positive. And this is the man that we need in office. He will help get this country turned the correct way.
Yes, he will. But I tell you what, the people on the other side.
Yep, that's what I was leading to.
And they are not happy about it at all. Listen to this.
Yeah, Rubio's a good case study of this phenomenon. I mean, he clashed with Trump some during the 2016 primary, we remember. After Trump was elected president, he largely fell in line, but did break with him on a few things, on some foreign policy issues, as well as on the Intel Committee. He would occasionally separate himself from Trump. Those days are over. And some of this may have been his ill-fated bid to be Trump's vice president. We know he was in the final 3 or 4 candidates for that. It's also his read on Florida, which is becoming increasingly Trumpified, and clearly he thinks he can't break with Trump at all if he wants to have an electoral future there. So Andrew Ross Sorkin, another person who has decided not to break with Donald Trump at all, is Elon Musk. And I will say that Elon Musk is perhaps the world's leading spreader of disinformation, including outright lies about hurricane relief, about illegal immigrants. We've seen him do that in the last couple of weeks. And then on Saturday, he steps on stage with Donald Trump with one of the less athletic leaps I've ever seen as he bounded his way on stage with Trump. Tell us, and then spoke briefly on the former president's behalf. Tell us about that moment and what sort of he does not have much of a vertical, Mr. Musk.
And that's the best he can come up with, man.
And what's so crazy about that is, folks, you just heard Elon Musk's speech.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even talking on behalf of President Trump, was he? He was talking on behalf of America.
The people. The people understand, and he showed every one of us he understands the same thing, man.
Yes.
If we don't get out here and do what we need to do.
Do our job.
We're going to lose our country.
And that's the truth. And that's what they don't want you over there on MSNBC or any of that legacy media, including Fox News. They don't want the people to actually have a voice. But your voice is your vote. And what really caught me about this little speech of this guy's on here was him talking about Elon Musk being a spreader of disinformation about the government's handling of the hurricanes.
The government's mishandling.
That's right. It was mishandling 100%.
An absolute lack of effort.
Yes. Here we go from the New York Post. We bring receipts, folks.
Yep. From the New York Post. The headline reads, FEMA abandons a devastated North Carolina town residents because it can't drive around a road closed sign. Nobody's been bringing in supplies except civilians.
Absolutely.
Hey, man, you remember last Friday when we done our show and Kamala had come out that day. Kamala didn't come out and say anything that the government had done. She come out thanking everybody else for coming in and doing what's supposed to be done.
Yes.
And being heroes like they're supposed to be.
But and you know what? That's what it always ends up. With all these other terrible disasters, who ends up there first? The American people. The American people stand together through tragedy.
Yeah.
Through everything.
Well, this is...
our government just fights us the entire way.
Just like with this. FEMA called me and told me they wanted to inspect my house, then called me back to say they couldn't drive around a road closed sign. They weren't allowed. Yeah. Can you believe this? They didn't want to. That's the point. You know what I mean?
Well, if you can't drive around it, why don't you walk?
Yeah.
And you can drive it by car for sure, they said. It's not that bad. You just have to drive around the road closed sign. I explained that to them. They said they couldn't. They couldn't at all do that. How maddening. I bet that was maddening. Left to fend for themselves, Batcave residents banded together, opening the roads and starting the arduous work of cleanup and recovery. Residents told the Post that they don't need FEMA now, and at this point, they don't even want the disaster relief agency to come.
No, I wouldn't either. Yeah, at this point, I wouldn't either, and I'd never allow them to come back into my town again, man. You know what I mean?
Yes.
God, dog, man.
I do. I 100% know what you mean. We're going to pause for a moment for another sponsor. Here we go. Cornbread Hemp.
You're looking for the perfect balance between wellness and quality? Cornbread Hemp is here to deliver, offering USDA organic full-spectrum CBD products made from Kentucky-grown hemp. Cornbread Hemp brings you the highest standard of natural relief. Whether you're looking for oils, gummies, or topicals, their products are designed to support your daily health routine. No artificial flavors, just pure plant-based ingredients for a better night's sleep, less stress, and a calm mind. Cornbread Hemp is also third-party, lab-tested, so you're ensuring transparency and trust in every product. So experience the difference today with Cornbread Hemp. Real relief, the natural way.
Please click that link below. I always put them right there for you. So you guys just click that, clink. Make sure you clink. No, click that link below. I say that all the time. James always has to edit it out. And now I'm live and I said it. So, y'all, I say clink a lot. So you might as well get used to it.
A lot. Point is, use promo code ITTW. You'll save 30% on your first initial purchase.
You sure will.
All right, guys.
And look. There's Cornbread Hemp at the top of this Daily Mail article. I'm sorry. I got a tickle bone. But there are some examples of some serious things that we were talking about. The hurricane. And a nurse warns hurricane victims that are being driven to suicide in North Carolina after Hurricane Helene's biblical destruction. As U.S., of course, is being braced for another hurricane.
Which is a Cat 5 in the Gulf right now.
Right now as we speak.
Yeah. As Hurricane Milton surges toward Florida, hospitals should prepare for a spike in suicide attempts like those seen among victims of Helene. A nurse told Daily Mail that Mission Hospital in Asheville, North Carolina, saw roughly 300 new patients on September 28th, with many displaying signs of an overdose and even gunshot wounds. The biblical devastation swept away road and homes, down trees and power lines, and it has killed at least 200 people, man.
Well,
again, our hearts and prayers go out to them.
Many people lost their babies.
They lost everything they've got, man.
And it's devastating. I could not imagine.
Me neither.
It's the flood and the houses falling on top of each other, coming down the mountain.
Yep.
And cars and
the point being, just like the writer here, the Daily Mail said, many residents of Asheville believe their community has been forgotten due to a lack of effort from officials who have yet to send aid in the last week since Helene made landfall on September the 27th, man.
Yeah, look at that. It's just unbelievable.
Where is our government?
Where are they?
They're blocking people from help, man. Yeah,
it says, but in Asheville, a city of nearly 94,000 people, no one knew the disaster was heading for them until it was too late. Residents didn't receive flash flood warnings or orders to evacuate, but when the rain came bucketing down, they knew they were in trouble. When we woke up that morning, it felt like just any other morning. We didn't think that hurricane was going to be that big of a deal. Mi Trong, a 32-year-old nurse at a mission hospital, said when the power went out and water stopped running, she said hospital staff started to panic about how to treat patients hygienically.
Yeah.
But within hours, the situation became much more dire. The hospital had a capacity for about 80 people, but by the end of the day, the number of people had surged to roughly 300.
Yeah, it goes on to say there was a lot of mental health issues coming from it, a lot of suicide attempts. And although she wasn't allowed to leave the hospital, she said that other locals woke up on Sunday morning to massive floods and the hurricane's victims in their backyards. At first, I thought this was just a rumor, but it's been confirmed with our contacts that there are bodies found in trees. And she explained to her husband, who is also a radio operator, and received information from local police about one guy who said he just went into his backyard one morning and just saw a deceased person in a tree. He said, so this is some real scary stuff, man.
Yeah. And FEMA has not, you notice she didn't even talk about FEMA either. No one is interested in the government coming in and helping them out. You know,
No.
They don't want your handouts. And you know, we talked about how they offer them $750. You know, that's a loan. They have to pay that back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They're not giving that. And if people have insurance for their home, they're not getting anything. You know, so what are they supposed to do up until everything, you know, is their insurance comes through, or, you know, how are they supposed to live on $750?
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
a mess,
I mean, you can't even live a day on that anymore, hardly. But yes, the Democrats over and over and over again keep saying, like we just showed you, about FEMA and how they're what do they say? Disinformation. It's disinformation everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, and we have a video right here we want to play of Merrick Garland.
No, not Merrick
Oh,
Garland.
I'm sorry.
Alejandro Mayorkas. Yeah.
Alejandro Mayorkas.
FEMA is tremendously prepared. This is what we do. This is what they do. And the key here, Rebecca, is also to make sure that the communities who are potentially impacted are prepared as well. And it's not just hurricanes and wildfires, also extreme heat, which certainly some parts of the United States are already experiencing.
Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas sounding the alarm on FEMA funding right after the devastation of Hurricane Helene. Listen.
We are meeting the immediate needs with the money that we have. We are expecting another hurricane hitting. We do not have the funds. FEMA does not have the funds to make it through the season.
This all comes as the Biden-Harris administration spent over $1 billion from a FEMA program on services for migrants.
Yep.
Attorney General of the great state of Florida, Ashley Moody, joins.
And fire.
Yes.
There you go.
So, yes, FEMA Democrats spent FEMA money on illegal immigrants.
Yes.
And they want to continue over and over to say, we are not doing that. That's in a separate fund. No, it's not.
What about the apartment complex we reported on back a couple months ago in Brunswick, Maine?
Yes.
You know, they were building brand new apartments, putting those migrants in those apartments. If they didn't have jobs, they were covering their expenses, remember?
I do.
Yeah.
I remember. Yes. So this is what's going on, folks. It is not misinformation. FEMA has been very hard to deal with. They don't want to get rid of any money unless it's, you know, I mean, who did they just send billions of dollars to? Lebanon just
$175 million.
$175 million.
Yep. While $2 million went to FEMA.
Yes, that is it. It's just uncontrolled. It's out of control, folks.
Yep.
You know, but everyone knows what's coming next.
Yeah, another hurricane.
It's heartbreaking.
Did you hear how Mayorkas said another hurricane's coming?
Yes, he said that.
That was on the 3rd.
How did he know that?
Yep.
I mean, we already knew that there were storms out in, you know,
in the Gulf, but they were way south of Florida. They were They were southeast of Florida at that point.
Yeah, and everyone's talking about the track of this one.
Yeah.
And
going to the east.
Going to the east. And
yep.
That's very rare.
Yep.
Actually, I looked it up. There has never been one that tracked that way from west to east.
West to east?
No.
On this side of the hemisphere?
On this side of the hemisphere. No.
In the northern hemisphere?
No, it has not. Now, they start out going that way and then go up.
Go north.
They go straight north.
That's what I had been betting on this one to do, was to turn
too.
north
I've
and
been
come
really
toward
surprised.
us. Between us and Mobile, that's about where I kept thinking it was going to do. Kind of like Beryl did that, you know.
Yes.
Because it was sitting right there on the coast, too. And from the looks of it, it was going to go on and stretch on and hit the the northern end of Mexico and the Texas border and come up through there, and it didn't. That sun gun turned and went straight up the coastline and then headed straight to us.
Yeah, and people, they're saying this is going to be a bad one. I know that Hurricane Helene was bad, but this one is going to hit.
They were saying earlier 160-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah, it's going to hit bad.
It's going to be like a huge tornado.
Please evacuate. It will be a catastrophic hit. Representative Anna Paulina Luna sounds the alarm on Hurricane Milton. On her post on X, she says, I am asking everyone to evacuate immediately. This is going to be a catastrophic hit. In a recent report, the National Hurricane Center reported that Hurricane Milton had explosively intensified and now had 175-mile-an-hour winds. It's amazing, guys. And
then there's the
look
track
at the
of
track of it and how fast it got to a 5.
See, I really figured about where the second 5 and the 4 is. I figured it would start to take a northern turn, a hard northern turn.
Well, I guess it kind of did the going down and then up, but I don't know where it's going to hit, where they say it's going to hit. That's not good. That's not good right there.
Well, it's
either.
in the Tampa area, and they're expecting 8 to 12-foot storm surge now, and that's going to flood. It's going to flood a lot down through there.
So what's going to make it slow down? Because they say it's by the time it hits, it'll be a 3. I haven't heard that a couple times, but I didn't know for sure. Milton explosively intensifies with 175-mile-an-hour winds. It is now about 700 miles from the state, from Florida, rapidly strengthening from Category 2 to 5 in just a few hours on Monday. By Tuesday, Milton's intensity should be dictated by any eyewall replacement cycles, which will likely cause the system to gradually weaken but grow larger.
Right. So that's what it's saying. The eyewall will begin to break up because of the counterclockwise rotation. Is a lot of that eye wall will pass the storm because the storm's moving northeast, and the wind shift from the other side of it will be going southwest. So man. See what it's doing right there. That's why the eye, once it gets across there, will tend to break up a little bit, or should.
It's so tiny right now.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen one that tiny. Have you?
It's pretty intense. Yeah, that's pretty intense.
Isn't that amazing? Look at that, folks.
Yeah.
For our podcast audience, we're showing a video of the hurricane.
They say it's the 4th strongest in Atlantic history, and it's as big as Hurricane Ike was. Ike was a big storm, too.
Wow.
If you remember back in 2005, 2007, 2006, 2007, around in there, yeah.
Yes, I do remember. Oh, please, everyone, pray for everyone.
Yep. And Governor DeSantis is doing a great job down there in Florida to help everybody, and everybody
He's
down
been
there
ahead
is
of
saying
it.
Please get out.
Yes, and he has. He came out and did a press conference this morning. I heard him, and he said, he has. What I thought was cool was he made the debris. I guess the place where you take all your trash. He made those people clean that up so that the debris from the hurricane wouldn't pick up that debris and
from the last hurricane, yeah.
From the last hurricane. You know, so he's been working really hard, and we're very thankful. Please, everybody, leave. I know for the most part most people stay, but these hurricanes, I don't know what's going on. I try not to feed into the conspiracy theory, but they're getting stronger and stronger. James over here, he can talk an hour, 2, 3, or 4 about what he thinks is going on here. But there is something just not right. It's just not right. What do you think?
Well, the way the government's behaving, it's not right. Just like with this right here. Kyle Becker put out a really cool thread about this earlier, and it said, just in, Kamala responds to reports that Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is playing political games by not returning her phone calls. he's not playing political games. He's down there trying to help people get evacuated and get to safety and get things taken care of. She's not the president. She has no business running her mouth at all about it. What she needs to be doing is doing whatever vice presidents do. You know what I mean?
Yes. And it says here, Kamala Harris is not the president of the United States.
Exactly.
She is campaigning for president by touting hurricane relief while thousands of Americans are being let down by FEMA.
Exactly.
I mean, this is what is happening.
Yeah. Democrats never let a crisis go to waste,
They
man.
never let a crisis go to waste.
Let's look down here and see. Let's hear what she has to say.
Oh, I guess.
Her
Okay.
stupid self.
Here we go.
Folks out there have survived these hurricanes before. This one is going to be very, very serious. And I urge you to please just grab whatever you need. Listen to the orders you're getting from your local officials. They know what they're telling you. And they know what Milton is about to be.
Hold on.
So please do that. The other point I'd make is that there's a lot of mis and disinformation being pushed out there by the former president about what is available, in particular to the survivors of Helene. And first of all, it's extraordinarily irresponsible. It's about him. It's not about you. And the reality is that FEMA has so
I just had
many
to come tell you
resources that are
that.
available to folks who desperately need them now, and resources that are about helping people get back on their feet and rebuild and have
You really
places
can't
to
hear
go.
her, man.
You are entitled to these resources. People are entitled to these resources. And
Well, I will tell you this. She blames President Trump of only thinking about himself. You know what? I'm sick of that. I am sick of that's what their stick is every single time. He only thinks of himself. In which way did he do that? What, while he was taking a bullet?
Well, not
And
only
while
that,
he-
while he was standing down there amongst all those people that had just got hit by this hurricane, and she's standing there acting as though he's wrong when your administration is the one that didn't do what you were supposed to do. Your FEMA, your Federal Emergency Management. That's what you are. That's what we give our tax dollars to you for, which you have squandered, apparently, and now you're going to try to take it and turn it around and use it against somebody else for political gain. She's a piece of shit.
Well, one of the reasons why Governor DeSantis probably won't answer her calls because for some reason this administration thinks they got to tell you exactly what to do. He's like, I'm busy. I have my own little corner of the world to take care of right now. So go away. You're a gnat, and you are not the president of the United States.
Is this thing working?
Rise up.